just go through this example. Slightly simple example. First thing, one. What we need to do is identify any ionic things, any acids. There's a result feeling to his chest. I'll show you very strong. One, are there any acids in that equation? No. No acids. Are there any ionic compounds? Which ones are ionic? Copper sulfate and lithium sulfate. If you guys at the back are not happy with it, you want to listen, you're listening, if you're happy, carry on. This is a very simple example that you might get, for example, level, I don't know, 3, 4, something like that. You see it's much compared to the one we just did. It is laughable. Right. Those are my two ionic compounds I've underlined. The other things are metals on their own. They're in their elemental state. They're not compounds, they're just metals on their own. So, first step, I'm going to rewrite that equation. I'm going to rewrite it, separate the things I've underlined. Lithium plus, which is that copper 1 sulfate or copper 2 sulfate? Copper 2 sulfate. What does that mean about what charge is on the copper? It's going to have 2 positive charges. If that's got 2 positive charges, what does the sulfate make? It must have 2 negative charges. I think I just want to make sure. Right, what have I done wrong there? How many lithium ions have come from there? Come on. 2, yeah, I've got 2 of them, so I need to make sure I put 2 in there. Right, at the moment, this is one step where people, particularly in the other class just now, people start to get slightly lazy and get confused, because at the moment, have I written any oxidation numbers in that equation? No, I've not yet. When you write an oxidation number, please make sure clearly it is up and out of the way from the charges that I have written, because you get confused very, very easily when you start mixing things together. Right, Manu, lithium on its own in its elemental state, what will the oxidation number be? 1. If it's on its own, no charges, nothing else, it is not 1. Anything, if it's on its own, like that, in its elemental state, is what? Is 0. Is there something else with 0 in this equation? Yeah, copper over here is exactly the same. Diego? Yes. Here I've got a copper 2 plus ion. It's on its own, but it's got 2 positive charges, so what's the oxidation number? Plus 2. Put it nice and clearly out of the way, up above it, so I don't get confused. What about in sulfate? What's oxygen always, Diego? Oxygen's always minus 2, with one exception. What must sulfur do? That's the example. Is that fantastic? What is sulfur, Diego, in that compound?
Sulfur will be 8. No.
6. Remember what?
Minus 2, 6.
Fantastic. It's going to be plus 6. What about on the right hand side? What's my lithium there, Pedro? What oxidation number is my lithium? Plus 1. Why plus 1? Yes, it's on its own, it's got 1 positive charge, so plus 1. Again here, sulfate's exactly the same as we had before, at the beginning of the reaction. So I'll put exactly the same numbers as here. Okay. Antonio, tell me one element that has changed its oxidation number. Copper has gone on the left side from an oxidation number of plus 2, right side 0. What has happened to the oxidation number? Has it gone up or gone down? It's gone down. It's become more negative, which means it must have gained electrons. What do we call the process of gaining electrons? Reduction. Oxidation is loss, reduction is gain. That oil rig we remembered. That must be reduction. Where is oxidation occurring, Manu? What else has changed?
In the substrate,
In lithium, exactly. Lithium has gone from 0 to +1. Remember, if one process is reduction, the other must be oxidation. We can't just have one of them happening and the other one not happening. So that one must be, Manu?
oxidation.
Oxidation. Okay. Right. There is my equation which has been separated. I've now given oxidation numbers. I've identified the two processes. So I'm going to write those two mini equations for each one.
Un segundito.
Claro.
Hay algunos que no hablan con ellos. Ahora las 10:30 en el departamento de naturales, ¿sí? 10:30, son 5 minutos. ¿Vais con el cuaderno? Ya, bueno, bueno, ahora de todas maneras, ya que hablamos son 2 minutos. La gente que no está aquí, ¿dónde está?
Allí.
Con el calor o
Okay, well, we'll leave it now. Perhaps someone needs to start the shower.
Typical Holy Week.
Oh, right, okay. But it's someone else, isn't it? So I suppose that's probably Okay. Right, this example, you'll notice things are already a lot more simple. Okay, in my two half equations, I've only got one element. So, to balance the first one, what do I need to do first of all, Luis?
Yes.
What do I need to do to balance this first half equation? First thing, I need to balance the lithiums. Antonio, what's not balanced in that first equation?
The first equation,
The charge. Right, what can I use to balance charge if I need to balance charge? Alberto, go on.
we can add one electron on the right side.
Okay, let's add one electron on the right side and see what.
We have both.
That's neutral. How many positive charges do I have on the right? How many positive charges do I have on the right? How many positive charges do I have on the right? There is a big 2 in front of that Li plus. So how many electrons do I need? 2. That is now balanced. I haven't had to add waters or H pluses, which makes life easy for me. Leopoldo, second one. The reduction one. What do I need to do? How many coppers are on each side? One on each side. Charge. Balance the charge for me. I can only add things. So if, instead of minus 2 on that side, plus. Right. This is the important step. You can never put minus something in a chemical equation. Now, the most important step, as we saw in the much more complicated example before, I need to make sure that I've got the same number of electrons on the left side as I do on the right side. Juan, in total, let's put a red dotted line. How many electrons are on the left of my dotted line? 2. Yeah, I've only got 2 there. How many on the right of my dotted line? Oh yeah, I've got 2 as well. I've got 2 electrons on the left, 2 electrons on the right. In the last example, we had to multiply both of these equations by different numbers to try and make those electrons the same. Actually, they're already the same. So all I need to do now is add those 2 equations together. So add everything on the left of my dotted line together. Let's see what we get. We've got 2Li plus Cu2 plus 2E minus, arrow 2Li plus 2E minus plus Cu. Can I cancel anything out, Diego, from both sides of my reaction?
Sorry?
Can I cancel anything out from both sides of my reaction?
And yes,
What?
the two electrons.
The two electrons can now disappear. That is the whole point of this process, just to be able to do that step. And finally, I've now given you the keys to my shop again. You can go and take whatever you need from the original reaction, so that all of my stuff in this equation here becomes one of the original ingredients. So, my lithium, what did I have in the first? In fact, I've already got, I had lithium in my original equation, which means this lithium here, I can write exactly as it is. That's one of my original ingredients, so I can leave it like it is. What about the copper 2 plus? Where did my copper 2 plus come from? It's come from the copper sulfate. So if I need to use just one copper, how many sulfates do I need to just take from the shop? If I've got one copper, I need one sulfate. So I can just add, it's that weird rule, I can just add one of those. Perfect. That is now being used. That's my left side done. On the right side, lithium plus, Li plus, where's that come from? That's come from lithium sulfate. How many lithiums do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of 2 lithiums. So how many sulfates do I need? Actually, I just need 1, because when I make it back into lithium sulfate, one of those molecules, one of those compounds, has 2 lithiums in it. So my lithiums are now gone. And finally, copper. Is that one of my original ingredients?
Yes.
There it is. Just normal copper. Therefore, I can just add it down here as it is. I'll do a quick check to make sure it's balanced. I've got 2 lithiums on the left, 2 on the right. I've got 1 copper on the left, 1 on the right. I've got 1 sulfate on the left, 1 sulfate on the right.
And
That is now done.
Why do we do this so it's the same as what you gave us?